Over the last 10 years, we have seen some crazy trades at the trade deadline. So come along with me on this journey, the top 10 jaw-dropping trades of the last 10 trade deadlines. These are trades that in the moment maybe made you go, wow, what are we seeing here? Where did this come from? And others are trades that we're sort of seeing after the fact that we look back now and was like, that trade actually happened? That was terrible. So we're going to take a look at this. Those two elements are what are going into this. Comment below. Let me know what trades really rocked your world when they went down, especially if maybe I don't have any of them in here. This is my list. Your list might be different. There certainly would be trades closer to maybe your team that you would be more interested in seeing here. So comment below. Let me know what you think. And let's get into this. Let's start out with number 10. And we're going to go to, and this is not biased, this was a crazy trade. AA's deadline debut comes in at number 10. This, to me, remembering back, I did not see this coming. Troy Tulowitzki to the Blue Jays with LaTroy Hawkins for Jose Reyes, Miguel Castro, Jeff Hoffman, and Jesus Tinko. This is a kind of a trade where the Blue Jays were trying to get out of Jose Reyes. They did that. Reyes only played 47 games with the Rockies before being released the following season. Now, Tulo, he was all right. Listen, he was never the guy that he was before those peak years in Colorado. The injuries, leaving the Colorado air, all that. He was not the same guy. Had some moments in Toronto, the Tulo chants and all that. The Jays fans embraced him for a little bit there. Ultimately, this trade was the highlight of Tulo's career with Toronto. Wow, Troy Tulowitzki coming to Toronto, because 2015 was Toronto entering that window with Anthopoulos trying to win. Miguel Castro has gone on to produce successful seasons out of the pen, not with Colorado, of course. He was spun off in 2017 to the Orioles. Hoffman hasn't been able to make it work. He was the guy that was really, this package was built around. He was the prized piece from Toronto's farm system here, but he hasn't figured it out. He's in his 7th season now with the Reds, maybe putting it together, having a decent go out of the pen with Cincinnati. And Tinko is now with the Rangers. I'm probably mispronouncing that. I apologize. He's with the Rangers over 36 games for his career. He has a 4.88 ERA. So that comes in at number 10, Jays and Rockies. Alex Anthopoulos' deadline debut back in 2015. Let's go on to our next one, number 9. And it is the Red Sox and the A's, and it is number 9. It is Jon Lester, Johnny Gomes, and cash to Oakland for Yoenis Cespedes to the Red Sox. Bye-bye, Lester. He was in his 9th season with Boston, but was going to be a free agent, and they were not going to re-sign him. He did pitch well for Oakland, going 6-4 with a 2.35 ERA over 11 starts, but then left after that season. Gomes didn't do much with Oakland. 570 OPS over 34 games. Not much there. He was at the end of the line anyway. 2015 would be his final season in the bigs. And Cespedes had a ton of hype around himself at the time, coming off an all-star selection that season, but only would play 51 games for Boston and be traded the following season as part of a package for Rick Porcello. That's number 9. Let's go on to number 8. And number 8 is the Rangers and the Phillies. We've got Phillies getting fleeced in 2015. The Rangers get Cole Hamels and Jake Diekman. I apologize for missing the L there, Cole. So we've got that to Texas. And the Phillies get Jared Eichhoff, Alec Asher, Matt Harrison, Jorge Alfaro, and Nick Williams. Hamels was in his 10th season with the Phillies, but they were on the verge of a 99-loss season. So spinning it for prospects was the way to go. Hamels went 7-1 down the stretch with the Rangers, 15-5 the following season, and stayed with Texas until 2018 when he was dealt to the Cubs. Diekman put together some fine seasons with the Rangers and left after the 2018 season. He's currently with the Red Sox, and wouldn't you know it, could be dealt again this year. The entire package back to Philly would be rather underwhelming. Eichhoff, 21 and 33 over 5 years with the Phillies, a 4.15 ERA. Asher would only pitch 12 games for the Phillies and is out of baseball. Harrison never pitched for Philly. Alfaro never really got it going there, but was part of the package that brought JT Realmuto to the Phillies. Nick Williams looked like maybe he was a player coming up in 17 and posting an 811 OPS, but that declined to 749 to 442 before being DFA'd in 2019. Next up, number 7, we are going to go Baltimore and the Dodgers. This is the Manny Ramirez trade. Manny on the move is number 7. Machado to the Dodgers. Diaz, Valera, Kramer, Bannon, and Pop go to the Orioles. The Orioles had to trade Machado in 2018, and the Dodgers stepped up and provided a decent haul for a rental player. Machado would only play out the remainder of the 18 season with the Dodgers before leaving via free agency to the Padres. The Orioles, their return. Still waiting for Diaz to arrive. He's only 25, so he still has a chance to do so. But at this point, his minor league stats above AAA are underwhelming. You've got Valera, didn't last long, only 12 games. Dean Kramer looks like he might be something with the O's this year. 9 starts and a 3.06 ERA. Bannon still with the O's, trying to make his way. And Pop left Baltimore in 2020 when he was selected in the Rule 5 draft by the Diamondbacks. This was one of those trades. We see the Dodgers time and time again throughout this. So at the current moment, depending on when you're watching this, we've got the Dodgers and Juan Soto rumors. You see the Dodgers making this move for Manny Machado. We're going to see them again in this countdown. So you know the Dodgers are always in the mix for these big types of blockbusters. So that is number 7. Let's move on to number 6. And we have the Cleveland Haul. This is a couple years ago, 2020. We had Cleveland getting Austin Hedges, Josh Naylor, Cal Quantrill, Gabriel Arias, Owen Miller, and Joey Cantillo for Mike Clevenger, Greg Allen, and a player to be named later. This, you look at, you probably double take when you look at this. Hedges, good defensively, still there. In fact, they're all still there. Obviously, this just went down in 2020. They're all still with Cleveland. Naylor, defensive catcher, not really an offensive guy. I'm sorry, Hedges. Naylor looks like a dude. This year, an 846 OPS. He looks like he's going to be a big-time ball player, and he's only 25. So something good with Naylor. You got Quantrill's been very good, a 3.27 ERA over 67 games with Cleveland. Arias is the team's number 4 prospect. Miller, up and down kind of a year, but looks like he could be turning into a quality player. And Cantillo, while not overwhelming, is Cleveland's current number 30 ranked prospect. Clevenger, on the other side, made 4 starts for the Padres in 2020 before getting hurt, ended up missing the entire 2021 season, and returned during this 2022 season, and is trying to build his way back to being a top of the rotation guy. You could say, no, and he's a free agent at the end of the year. No doubt about it. Cleveland won this trade going away. Padres, Preller, trading prospects. I don't think he cares. Padres, Soto, prospects, Preller. You get where I'm going with that? All right, let's move on. Let's get into the top 5 now. We have the Dodgers back in the conversation, and it's Hanley to LA at number 5. This happened back in 2012. This is as far back as we go on our top 10 jaw-dropping trades over the last 10 years. Hanley to LA. Randy Choate also on his way to LA in this deal. Miami gets Nate Eovaldi and Scott Mageau. Might be mispronouncing Mageau, but he didn't do much, so I'm sorry I did not learn the last name. But here's the point. Hanley, the time in Miami needed to come to an end. That was over. The Dodgers stepped up and provided a rather underwhelming package for a player of Hanley's caliber and his age. Only his age 28 season at the time of the trade. But again, there were some Hanley issues, and that ended up creeping up in LA as well. Choate, nice player, included in the deal. Was getting near the end of his career, but very respectable. Randy Choate, 15 years, 672 games. Lefty pitcher there out of the bullpen. Good career there. He was also included in the deal. And Nate Eovaldi ultimately struggled with Miami, was traded to the Yankees in 2014, and Mago only pitched 6 games in the big leagues. So who won the trade? I guess you could say the Dodgers, because again, Hanley Ramirez did better with LA than Nate Eovaldi did with Miami. But this was, again, one of those trades when you see these big personalities, the Manny Machado deal, the Hanley Ramirez deal. Somehow the Dodgers end up involved, and they're, again, accustomed to the blockbusters here at the trade deadline. Let's move on. We are in the top 5 now. We are going to number 4, and number 4 will be Pittsburgh and Tampa. Now, at the time, this is one of those trades that, again, at the time, it's not going to make your jaw drop. Maybe like our previous trade did. But you look at this right now, and this is insane. The Rays being the Rays back in 2018. Pittsburgh gets Chris Archer, and the Rays get Tyler Glasnow, Austin Meadows, and Shane Baz. What? Tyler Glasnow, when healthy, is dominant. Austin Meadows is not there anymore, was traded to Detroit, but they got Isaac Paredes, so that's working out for Tampa. And when Meadows was there, he was their top home run one of their top home run hitters. And Shane Baz looks like a beast, one of the top young pitching prospects. Like, how much has he pitched now? We still call him a prospect. You get the point. One of the best young pitchers, highest potential pitchers. And it was all for Chris Archer. And Chris Archer's days were well behind him. His good days were well behind him. So here we go. Rays being the Rays, they get the win. Pittsburgh should have hung up the phone with this trade. Imagine if Pittsburgh had kept 2 of these guys, Glasnow and Baz, with where they're at right now with their organization, with guys like Cruz and Hayes and Reynolds. I'm just saying, I feel terrible for Tampa. I'm sorry, for Pittsburgh looking back. It's great for Tampa, terrible for Pittsburgh looking back at this trade. Let's move on to number 3. Our number 3 trade is the north side and the south side of Chicago getting together for a trade. Doesn't happen that often, but it did in 2017. We're going to call this South Side Robbery. The White Sox get Dylan Cease, Eloy Jimenez, Matt Rose, and Bryant Fleet. Okay, one of them's out of baseball. One of them's still kicking around in independent ball. For Jose Quintana. Jose Quintana could be traded again this trade deadline, but this was an interesting situation because Quintana had been really good for the White Sox, and the Cubs were trying to get that player. But similar to Archer going to Pittsburgh, Quintana going to the Cubs, the best days were behind him. He never gave them the years, the pitching that he was when he was with the White Sox. So you have a steal of a deal with how Cease and Jimenez have turned out for the White Sox. For Quintana, great deal for the Chicago White Sox here. An absolute robbery back in 2017. We're going to go to a more recent trade for our number 2, and that is last year's Washington and LA trade. Max Scherzer, Trey Turner for Keibert Ruiz, Josiah Gray, Donovan Casey, and Gerardo Carrillo. This was unbelievable, and everything building up to it. Looking like it was going to be the Padres getting Scherzer the day before. And then the word that, nope, that deal's not going to happen. Still working something out. Dodgers could be in there. And oh, by the way, they might be getting Trey Turner in the deal. Nobody knew what was going on. Up was down, left was right. Colors had a smell and numbers had a taste. It was absolutely insane back when this trade went down. This is one of those trades in the moment was jaw-dropping. Scherzer and Turner. Now, it didn't lead the Dodgers to a World Series, so we can't make it number 1, but certainly one of the most jaw-dropping trades that we have seen recently. Ruiz, only 23, getting some regular playing time with the Nats in 2022. A lot of upside here. Gray has been up and down so far, but he's only 24 years old, still plenty of upside. Neither Ruiz or Gray has really had that big immediate impact, but still a good future there. You've also got Casey. Casey is the Nats' number 18 prospect, and Carrillo is the Nats' number 7 prospect. Now, that prospect system, that farm system is not that great. It's well documented. They have one of the worst farm systems in baseball, so being the number 18 prospect for Washington, like Donovan Casey is, means he might not be in the top 30 for some of the better systems, but at the end of the day, they got a decent, one decent ball player and one with Carrillo who could be really good. So that's number 2. So you got to think, what could be number 1? If you think back to the thumbnail, there's a player on that thumbnail that we have not talked about, And that is where we are going to go for number 1. And the Dodgers are back again. Another trade for them. This one, though, does not look good. This one was the real cheat. 2016, Yordan Alvarez goes to the Houston Astros for Josh Fields. Just let that sink in for a minute. Fields pitched 124 games for the Dodgers, posted a 2.61 ERA out of the pen, but come on, who cares? Alvarez is one of the best young hitters in the game today, and this is how he got there. The Dodgers traded him back in 2016 to Houston before 2017. You get it? So this is our number 1 jaw-dropping trade. It wasn't at the time. At the time, it was a ho-hum deal. They get some relief pitching for a good prospect. That was about it. But today, looking back at that trade, are you kidding me? And again, that's how we're evaluating this. Some of these trades, we're looking back on those trades, like the Pittsburgh and Tampa trade. This trade, the trade with the, what was the trade? 2 trades back. Let's go back. My brain. The South Side, North Side, White Sox and Cubs. Looking at those now, you're like, wow. Back then, not so much. Now, unbelievable trades. So, let me know again. Comment below and give me your trades that, again, these are not the top trades of the last 10 years. These are the most jaw-dropping trades, in my opinion. Top 10 jaw-dropping trades, in my opinion. Again, comment and let me know what your jaw-dropping trades are, or your top trades, whatever you want to do. Or make some trade predictions for the current trade deadline. Whatever you want to do, comment below and have at it. Make sure to subscribe if you are just finding the channel for the first time. I don't want you to miss any of the upcoming content, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. And hit that like to show your support for the channel. I truly do appreciate it. Appreciate you spending some time with the channel. I will add some links to some of my other content for you to check out here now. Again, thank you for watching my video, and I'll catch up with you next time.